My best friend died when his son was 6. For 4 years, I've paid every tuition bill, $18,000 a semester, almost $200,000 total. He thinks he won an anonymous scholarship. He has no idea it's me. 3 weeks ago, that almost changed. David was my best friend since college, and we built a company together. He died of a heart attack at 38, and his son Eli was 6. At the hospital, before he went into surgery, David grabbed my wrist. He said, "Promise me Eli never grows up feeling like charity." I promised. 2 weeks after the funeral, I set up a fake scholarship foundation. No name attached, just a P.O. box and a lawyer who signed everything. Every semester since, I've written a check. Every semester, Eli writes a thank you letter to an address that doesn't exist. David's widow, Rachel, remarried 2 years after he passed. Her husband, Greg, is proud, prickly about money. He didn't know about the scholarship source, and I liked it that way. Then, 3 weeks ago, the university flagged my foundation for a fraud review. New federal rules meant every anonymous donor now needs a verified name on file, or the scholarship gets pulled retroactively. Eli would owe $47,000 overnight. I had 1 week to decide, reveal myself to the school quietly, or let him lose everything 2 months before graduation. I chose to reveal it to the university, not to Eli. I thought that was safe. I was wrong. Greg found the paperwork in Rachel's mail. He drove to my office and threw it on my desk. "Why are you obsessed with my stepson?" he said. "What are you really paying for?" I almost told him everything right there. Instead, I did what David asked 4 years ago. I stayed quiet. I let him think whatever he wanted. Graduation was 2 weeks later. I sat in the back row. Nobody's father, nobody's name on any program. Eli gave the class speech. He thanked his mom. He thanked a stranger he'd never met. "Whoever you are, you gave me a future I didn't earn." After the ceremony, I finally did the one thing I'd been holding for 4 years. I handed Rachel a sealed envelope that David wrote the week before he died. Inside was one line for Eli: "Ask your Uncle Mark why the check stopped coming from nowhere." Eli read it standing in his cap and gown. He looked up at me across the parking lot. He didn't say thank you. He just walked over and hugged me like he already knew. Greg apologized weeks later, quietly, the way proud men do. Rachel never asked me for a cent back. I don't regret the secrecy, but some nights I wonder, if I'd told Eli on day one, would 4 years of gratitude to a stranger have meant less or more than 4 years of grief for his father? I still don't know the answer.